felt it needed to be 3 hours.
You think Lord of the Rings needed to be 3 hours?
No. But I didn't hear you complain about it being 3 hours. But you watched it, didn't you?
Do you want me to complain about it being 3 hours right now?
I'm just saying. I can
tell you what I would.
Lord of the Rings, don't you?
Just because I liked the movie doesn't mean that I felt it needed to be 3 hours.
I'm not going to say I feel like any movie needs to be 3 hours.
Eli, what do I say when we look up horror movies? Right? What's the first thing I look at?
If a horror
runtime.
No horror movie.
We were just watching Scream, and what was it?
An hour and a half, probably.
Was it 2 hours? It was 2 hours.
The first Scream,
or an hour 45, an hour 50.
Hour 45-ish is perfect for a horror movie.
Just came out. Yeah.
Did you like it? The new one, the newest one.
Regardless, we'll get to that on a later note.
All right.
But regardless, an hour and a half is about the duration of a horror movie.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours, 30 minutes over that, and he's like, "Why the fuck does this horror movie need to be this long?" Right. So yes, the duration does play a part.
There's no movie that needs to close in on 3 hours.
I would say movies like Oppenheimer or Titanic, like 2.5 to 2 hours and 45 minutes seems like what those movies, type of movies, tend to be.
I can understand
how I can Ryan is somewhere along those lines.
I can understand why you would feel that way given your stance on directors.
Just because I feel like there's a lot of
Tarantino.
There's a lot of detail in it.
You like Tarantino and Scorsese, who direct the longest goddamn movies possible.
They do indeed.
And you like their so of course you're fine with a 3-hour movie.
Tarantino more than Scorsese. Tarantino likes to get those long ass runtimes.
Scorsese doesn't get a movie over quickly.
What's that one? I mean, that's Scorsese. Yeah, that's a pretty long movie. That's damn near 3 hours. I think 2 hours.
It is. It's 2 hours 59 minutes. It's 3 hours. You can't get closer than this without being 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I can understand.
My
bad.
I don't care.
Didn't mean to toss it. So I think you just made a loud noise. But yeah, I didn't mean to do that. No, of course you don't mind a movie being 3 hours. All the movies you like are 3 hours. I hate movies that are 3 hours because I watch them and I go, oh my God.
Schindler's List is 3 hours.
A lot of
because it's always cutscenes. It's always like Indiana Jones flying that dotted line across the map and I have to watch it for 3 minutes to get the idea that he took a plane to the other side of the country. Nope, just go ahead and cut that. Send me straight to the other country. I'll get the point. If I don't, I'm probably too stupid to be watching this movie. Yeah, no movie needs to be 3 hours long.
It's very rare.
No, I would say there's a time and a place, but majority of the time,
you're horror
right.
movie. Name a movie that needs to be 3 hours, dog.
What do you mean, like needs to be? I don't know about needs to be, but there are movies where like Schindler's List. I don't watch Schindler's List and think like, man, there's all this fat that needs to be trimmed. I don't watch Titanic and think that. I don't watch Casino and think that. There's movies where it seems okay. Personally, would I prefer it to be 2.5 hours? Sure, but like there's some movies where I'm not complaining about the length. Avatar, way too long. The first Avatar, it's 3 hours long, way too long.
I would love to tell you that I would watch these movies to tell you what I think should be trimmed, but I don't want to spend 3 hours.
But like, I'm sure there's
I can watch 2 horror movies in that time.
If it flows and I don't like get bored or start to think like, my God, it's fine. And I didn't feel that way with any of those longer movies that I named.
I'm not gonna lie, Goodfellas had me like that.
After a point, you gotta ask yourself, what the fuck are we watching? What the hell are we watching?
Like,
why are we still?
Because like part of the problem is like they start telling 2 stories at once that tie in together, which, like, at that point, just make 2 movies. I'll watch them both, but just let me get a break, bro. I don't want to sit there. I don't want to sit there and watch this 3-hour movie.
You gotta do me a favor. If you actually watch that movie, power through the narration. Will yourself through it, dude. Will yourself through it.
You gotta power.
No, because
I
know he doesn't like it. He doesn't like the narration, and like, it's honestly this movie. It's kind of like Goodfellas. Like it's Scorsese, it's De Niro. It's a lot of narrating. Honestly, there's too much narrating in this one. When you were making your argument about the narration the other day, the only movie that I thought that could apply it to was this one. Because even I watch it, every time it's on, like TV, I always watch it.
What's the point of having narration? I'm watching this show. I should know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That one, you can make the argument for. But overall, it's a good fucking movie. The second half of the movie, it dies down, and it's a good movie. But
so, yeah, I mean, it's not that I...
Eli, I feel like you haven't said much.
No. No, I haven't, because my list of what it means to be a good movie doesn't apply to.
No, it's not what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about I'm not trying to debate what you think is a good movie or not. Just in general, I feel like
Is 3 hours too long for any movie?
I wouldn't say any movie.
I would.
I would say that there's a lot of fat that can be trimmed. I said that about
3 hours.
It doesn't need to be 3 hours long. I said that last week. You can cut that down. You can cut that down to 2 hours.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's just too long.
You probably could.
Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Goodfellas. I didn't think it was a bad movie. Just too long. At a certain point, at about the 2 hour mark, when I don't see the plot wrapping up, I get concerned.
When I think about 3 hour long movies, I think back to the Justice League director's cut, the Snyder cut. And then you realize
it is long. It's like 4 hours. It took me like 2 days to watch that, and I usually watch no matter how long it is. I'll sit down and watch.
There's no need for all of that. You saw all the fat that.
But like it was better than the original. But like
because
they definitely could have just
animation,
trimmed down the
CGI,
director's cut correctly because it's like a completely different movie. Movie had like comedies typically are like hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. That's how long comedy should be.
2 hour
funny
comedy?
people. I love funny people. Way too long. Like that's a movie I feel this way about. Funny people, Adam Sandler, Seth Rogen, Leslie
I
Mann.
didn't see that one.
Yeah, great movie, but just way too long. So it all depends on the movie, I think.
Again, attention spans are getting a lot shorter. Nobody wants to sit down and
blame
watch
TikTok,
it.
man.
I mean,
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I feel like you used to do shit to like do shit. And now, when you're doing stuff like this, you need to realize like the people like dog, when I see a movie is 3 hours long, I immediately give it a hard pass. Immediately. 2 hour horror movie,
which is fine because that's a lot of your time.
If you have a horror movie that's over 2 hours, and I've only watched one in my life, and it was like a 2 hour and 5 minute runtime. It was quite possibly the worst horror movie I had ever seen.
Do you know what it was?
I'll have to go back through and look. It was so
that
bad.
does sound bad.
It
That
was
does
so
sound too
bad I
long.
had to block it from my memory.
Yeah, because Saul keeps it short and sweet, baby.
Right.
They're like an hour, 20 minutes.
Right.
In and out.
Because like that's what I want. First of all, there's not a lot of plot in horror movies. I don't need a lot of setup time. Like when I watch a horror movie, in the first 45 minutes is setting up what's going on.
Yeah, that's a bad horror movie.
I don't need 45 minutes of setup.
We haven't gotten into it within the first 20 minutes of what we're watching. What the hell are we watching?
So I
I'll just see how long this was. It's pretty long.
Yo, what the fuck? I didn't know you could do that.
I
don't even know how I did it. I accidentally tapped something on the whatever. Anyways, so I mean, yeah, no, like your runtime definitely affects my like. Don't get me wrong, like the new Hobbit series, right? I think all of those are like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
They didn't need to be.
Every Lord of the Rings movie, and that's included.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
all too long.
Oh my
I think
God,
the
yeah.
2 hour, dude. The people, Lord of the Rings stands, they love obviously Lord of the Rings, but they vow by the director's cut of the Two Towers, which is like 4.5 hours long. I'm never watching that. I've never watched it. I won't watch it.
In my life to
That's
sit
too
down
long.
for 4 hours.
It's okay. Like I can sit through a 3 hour movie. If we're going, and depending on the movie, it's okay.
I don't got enough snacks for a 3 hour movie, dog. I don't want to eat that much.
But 4 hours,
Dog.
like you were saying about the director's cut of Justice League. My God, just make the original movie good. How about that?
Just make it good, Just trim the fat. Put the CGI that you guys had back in there.
Because the first Justice League wasn't good. The director's cut is good, but like a lot of fat in that too.
See, okay, I wanted to watch the director's cut.
It's good. Like it is worth it, I guess.
But it's like, isn't it like 5 hours long?
It's like, I don't know, let's look it up. I think it's 4 hours.
I thought it was like 450-ish.
Zack Snyder's Justice League. 4 hours and 2 minutes. So that's 2 movies.
Or a Tarantino and a half movie.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, yeah, your runtime definitely affects whether I'm watching your movie or not. Because there's just no need for a movie to be like
2:34.
3 hours long. How long is Titanic?
3 hours.
3 and 15, 3 and 12, something.
3 hours and 14 minutes.
No way.
Yeah.
Dog, you want to tell me it's a great movie? I need an entire night just to watch it.
You do.
220.
I need to have already.
Yeah, it seems like Tarantino's average is like 245.
That's horrible. What's that one he did with Brad Pitt and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, that's what I have pulled up right here.
I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, all
I
good.
can't
Yeah,
read
yeah.
shit.
I can't either without my contacts.
Basically
or glasses.
blurs.
Yeah, that's because that's what I just jumped to. That's a
So-
good movie, dude.
But watch that movie and tell me there's not at least 15 minutes you could have cut out of that.
Oh, there is. That's what I'm saying. Like there
easily.
probably is fat, but like a lot of the movies that I named, I think are good enough to like it's okay. Like I'll give it a pass. But movies like Avatar, I can't think of many other like 3-hour movies off the top of my head that like I didn't like because I think typically they're only made by like the best of the best directors and actors because otherwise if you're a no-name actor or director and you make a 3-hour movie you're already cutting like the people who are going to see your movie in half because you're not known so people aren't going to line up to see your movie to begin with. So I think it's different for these other guys because I think you kind of have to have a name for yourself. Dude, I personally
Trash.
I don't think it's trash. I think
That movie was hot garbage.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't want to. Don't make me sit up here and defend Pulp Fiction though either, because like, I think it's okay. I think it's good. You know, like I think it's good. The same way I think like, I don't know. I can't think of another movie, but like it's okay. It's good. I give it like a 7.
What's it about?
You don't know. We don't know. Like we literally like okay here I'll just pull it up. It's Tarantino, so it's not just about one thing.
Yeah,
But
that's my beef with his movies. He's got
the lives of 2 mob hitmen, a boxer, a gangster, and his wife, and a pair of diner bandits intertwined in 4 tales of violence and redemption.
So,
But and then there's this box, right, that they're kind of
this
transporting,
briefcase.
and we don't know what's in the briefcase.
You never
and
find
you
out.
Never find out what's in the briefcase. So like I couldn't tell you what it's actually about. So
yeah.
overrated.
Don't
as fuck.
do
Oh, I
not
just-
watch
I
Pulp
literally
Fiction.
just-
Yeah, Sam L's in it. It's a good movie. Like I guess it's worth a watch.
I don't know about that.
Pulp Fiction to me is I kind of think of like Pulp Fiction and Shawshank as the same. Like they're both good. I don't think either one is all time great, but people do. How long is Kill Bill?
Too freaking long, dog. I'm not watching Kill Bill either.
Kill Bill's fire though.
Is it?
Hour and 51 minutes. Wow.
I thought it was a 2.5 hour movie.
See, the thing is, I'm pretty sure they filmed them back to back.
And I'm also not gonna go back and watch movies. So
Kill Bill's like 1 and 2. Were they released the same year? 2003 and 2004.
See ya.
Beautiful.